Autonomous language learning changed the paradigm of learning to learn when contemplating an education for life. Bearing in mind that the act of learning depends of higher order thinking skills to the development of meta intelligence. Therefore, an education that has in count the trio of factors related to practical activities with the people and mental representations will have a significant impact on the students because they become aware of the environment, of the learning potential of the individual, of the interaction with other people, of the transfer of cognitive and metacognitive strategies, and participation in society of knowledge. Autonomous learning perceives learning theories as a way of life that involves affective, emotional, existential, intellectual, and moral intelligences. That is, it is to make a life of great knowledge problematization strategy. The use and generation of knowledge or innovation and critically in autonomous learning starts from adaptive knowledge that implies develop spontaneously and interactively with practical activities that favor interaction with the environment by creating a representation of the perceived motor regularities, generating meaning of living cognition because develop a bodily or incarnation intelligence about the relation between theory and practice of the concept or theory by understanding it forms sensory knowledge and the construction of formal abstract knowledge. The activity related to people is essential to achieve a social learning, where doubt and questioning is installed to interrogate for the validity of the use and generation of knowledge in the search for certainty of knowledge, the midst of the uncertainty in which the student lives. Autonomous language learning strategies involve actions and behaviors that should be incorporated into daily life as have been done evident in the analysis of results. Now that these actions are accomplished by the use of certain tools and resources, such as web platforms, mobile applications, and self-study books. It is understood that this process does not have the participation of a teacher as an intermediary, if not the action carried out by the students independently to learn a new language to reinforce knowledge of one that is already known. They allow you to learn language independently. These actions and behaviors become part of everyday life, so it is important to adopt them as constant habits. This is one of the best conditions for learning autonomous be successful. It is evident that autonomous learning strategies can be present factors that negatively affect this form of learning and that do not allow make it entirely reliable or successful. Many of these factors are related to agents external ones that do not allow it to be a form of constant learning, such as outside occupations or links through traditional forms of teaching and learning. Other of these limitations are most linked to people and their ways of learning or their level of perseverance and discipline. For example, motivation, perseverance, and discipline of each person or the ability to find and adapt resources that allow them learn autonomously. However, learning strategies also show factors that they have a positive impact on the individuals who practice them. Among these aspects that positively influencing are the sensation and emotions that drive the individual to continue learning on their own, such as satisfaction or gratification, which are given much to learn a new thing on their own. In addition to this, A positive factor that is evidence that autonomous learning of language, that is type of learning, allows the individual to regulate their way of learn. This is possible because the individual has the opportunity to develop an autonomous attitude of seeking resources. The individual can also select the resources that you think appropriate for your learning process. And finally, you can learn by having part of their time. As described by the students, this as long as the student is constant, responsible, and disciplined with their own autonomous learning process.